Hey everyone, this is Ete with another episode of Eco-Lawn Science. The last couple episodes we talked about drought stress, we talked about watering tips and irrigation tips. And this one's about LDS, and I'm not talking about the Church of Jesus Christ Latter Saints, because that's when I first saw it. I said, what the heck? No, they're called Localized Dry Spots, but the LDS is actually the official abbreviation. And same space, same area. That's why I put these three kind of together. So the localized dry spots is a little different than drought stress. You know, we've talked about drought stress, how it's just dry. It's maybe, often your irrigation's not hitting it properly. There's something happening. But localized dry spots come around the same time. So we're looking, mid-June through July, August. So the hottest time of the year. They're also called hot spots. Some people call them hot pockets. There's a million names for them. That's also a little snack, hot pockets. But anyway, not talking about those. Maybe we should do an episode on hot pockets. But anyway, the localized dry spots, they're consistent. They're almost like chronic. So you'll get out every year and you'll see that same darn area, that same brown spot. Drought stress a little different, It's conditional. But this is we're talking about every year. When I look at my front yard by the mailbox, there's that brown spot. And it happens every year. And no matter what I do, I know it's getting enough water. I know all that's fine. That spot keeps coming up. So these are more chronic problems. So I want to talk a little bit about it. What's happening there is kind of a bizarre thing, but there's a bicarbonate buildup. So there's like this waxy coating that forms around the soil particles. So picture this. There's your brown spot around a nice green lawn, but in this area, you got this little waxy coating. And it's built up from different things. It could be from your irrigation, might have some sodium buildup in it. It could be from over-fertilization of synthetic products. It could be from anything that you've been doing on your property that just got in there. And it puts this little coating on it. So as you're watering, it's not really getting to where it's got to go. It's hard. And what's worse is the microbes, the life in the soil underneath of that spot, they're not as active. And they're not, because they're not getting the breathing. They're not getting what they need. And so you got this bicarbonate buildup, and then all of a sudden you've got this spot, and every year, and it's a problem. So let's talk a little bit about what you can do to kind of fix it. One of the hard things about this is the first thought is, let's put more water on it, and you might increase it 10, 20 minutes a day, and find out I'm not having any luck. It's because it's not penetrating. It's not getting to where it's going. And so we got to address the problem. We've got to break down that sodium. So I love taking two products and combining them. The first product is it's called Sodium Knockout. It's by Growth Products, but there's many different products that do the same thing. But basically, it's a high calcium product that when you apply it, it's going to knock out that sodium. It's going to bring it down so that it's attacking that side of it. The second part of it is we have to stimulate. So once we break down that barrier, now we've got to stimulate the microorganisms in the soil, right? Because they've been dormant, they've been struggling, they haven't been multiplying, and so therefore your balance is off in the soil. So to do that, there's a couple products, but you're looking at organic soil conditioners. My favorite is, I always say the name wrong, so I'm going to actually look, even though I use it and I love it. It's called Essential Plus. I think it's by Human Grow or Growth Products, but it's Essential Plus. What's in this product is basically biological stimulation. There are some microbes, but there's food for microbes. There's organic matter. There's some humic acid. And so by applying this, you're going to get the activity in the soil. You're going to get things rocking again. So Sodium Knockout will start breaking down the barrier. The Essential Plus will start bringing life back to it, and that'll help to heal it up. So once you do that, then hopefully you'll be able to break down that barrier. Now, there are some mechanical ways to do it. I don't have as much experience. I've seen it done a few times, but basically think of aeration. I have a lot of experience with aeration, but they plug the holes to bring out, to break up the soil compaction. Kind of like that, but it's called spiking, and you just spike that area with these they're almost like little sharp spikes. And just by doing that, you're doing a mechanical breakup of that. So you could combine all three. You could do a little spiking, with the sodium, with the microbiology stimulant. But basically, that's what you have to do. So if it's a chronic spot, you see it all the time. It looks like drought stress, so it's a little different than a fungal area. Fungal's going to have bizarre patterns. It's going to be spreading. If this spot doesn't spread, it's the same spot every year. It looks like drought stress, but it's not reacting to getting the watering fixed. then I'd look at LDS, localized dry spots. I'd look at, breaking down the sodium, stimulate the organisms, and I wouldn't worry too much, and I would focus on that. Now, once you've got that broken down and you can start seeing some health, some color come back, then you can increase the water. You can get some more moisture down into the oxygen, moisture and oxygen down into the root zone, and that should help to really bring it back. It could take, if it's really hot, now depending on the conditions. So if you start seeing it in late June and it's 90 degrees for 3 weeks, it may take you 2 months for that spot to come back. If you get a nice cool break, just because it's under so much stress. So the weather's going to, and the temperatures are going to impact the reaction, the recovery. But for the most part, if you got decent 80s and you keep things wet and you can apply these products I've talked about, a week or 2 weeks, you should see some color coming back with the new growth. There's also products like Revive that you can get, made out of, I think they're from Colorado. That's a good product as well. So anyway, that's localized dry spots. I hope that helps. And if you're not sure what our next episode, we're going to talk about fungal issues. And again, we're just trying to help you find out what the problem is, but it's a step. It's a ruling out step. So anyway, thank you for checking this episode out. Have a great day. See you on the next episode.